The Cody Willard Show.
I'm Ross the Boss. I want to talk sports with you, cowboy. Big night last night. One of my favorite shows premiered on HBO, Hard Knocks. It means it's the beginning of football season. You know what that means to me? It means it's like being at the Sixteenth Chapel. It means being at the Mecca of sports, the beginning of football, NFL. They featured the Cleveland Browns are going to be featured this year. It's going to be a great year. They started with Hugh Jackson. Hugh Jackson's mom died and brother died within 2 weeks. They showed the whole thing about him finding about his mom dying. It was very sad. I'm surprised they showed it. They kept it in, but bravo HBO for doing that. It was very emotional. They also talked about Baker Mayfield. He was the number one pick, Heisman Trophy winner. They showed him a lot. He rented a camper for this year. All the quarterbacks will sleep in the camper this year. It's going to be interesting. Great speech by Jarvis Landry. He is a receiver that played for Miami last year. He's a free agent. He does great, inspiring speech about players not coming to practice, missing practice because they're hurt, supposedly. He does very inspirational speech. Great show last night. I had a great time watching it. I hope you guys can watch it too. They did a great job. Bravo,
Ross,
HBO.
Do the Cleveland Browns have any chance of winning 8 games, half their games this year?
They were 0-16 last year, and they have no shot. I mean, I don't think
Baker Mayfield, though, man. That guy's, he feels like a winner. I loved watching him, and I don't like college football. I don't even like.
Yeah, but remember, he's the backup. He's not even starting this year. It's going to be Tyrod Taylor, the quarterback from Buffalo. Baker will be lucky if he plays a few downs this year. I don't see him playing much unless they say, screw it, let's put Baker in. The season's over anyway. Let's give the rookie some experience. They could do that. But they actually showed Baker signing the $14 million bonus contract. So on TV, you saw him signing a contract in which he's getting guaranteed $14 million this year and then another $22 million later. And they showed him doing it. I mean, I never seen that before on television, a guy actually signing a huge contract like that on HBO for everybody to see and talk about. They talked about the numbers, which is unbelievable.
And Ross,
the first thing out of his mouth was, I got to call Cody Willard. I need to invest this money. I need to be a billionaire. And Cody Willard's the only guy that knows how to do it. That's what they talked about. It was amazing.
That's a lot of money, but it's not compared to $1 trillion at Apple.
I know.
But I will tell you, it's a lot of money compared to what, say, the guy serving coffee to you this morning is making.
That's true.
And I bet that guy pays a higher tax rate than Baker Mayfield. But I want to talk sports, I hope.
So another story that caught my attention is the North Carolina suspensions. University of North Carolina suspended 13 players for actually selling their shoes that were given to them by the school so they can wear in football games. These guys have no money. They would love to keep the sneakers, I'm sure, but they wanted the extra money. So they sold the shoes. Cody, you played college basketball. I'm sure you got free stuff. Yeah, I'm sure you have a back story about this.
Yeah, we were everybody on the team. Was pretty poor. I don't think we had any wealthy kids at the University of New Mexico when I was a walk-on, and certainly not at Blinn College, junior college. But at UNM, we would get shoes and jerseys and practice gear and things, and friends of mine, teammates of mine would sell them at times. Sure, if someone offered someone $100 for practice shorts, they'd take it every time. These kids were trying to eat. We had free food at the cafeteria, but it's exactly like you said. The fact that our coach was making $1 million a year, Dave Bliss, who should be in prison for obstruction of justice in a murder trial, was making $1 million, or at that point, $500,000 a year. And he had kids that, some of the boosters were giving, like one of our best players was a real poor kid from North Carolina. And he drove around, first day showed up at class, sophomore year, he had a brand new Eddie Bauer Ford Explorer, one of the boosters had given to him. It's rampant.
Shocked
Everybody's
about this
cheating in college sports, as far as I can tell.
But the whole blasphemy of the whole situation was these were special edition Nike Jordan shoes. What college did Michael Jordan go to, Cody?
I wrote Michael Jordan a letter when he was a freshman at the University of North Carolina.
So these guys sold special edition Air Jordans and they go to North Carolina. That to me is a crime. They should be thrown in jail. They should throw away the key. Your idol, the biggest name in college basketball still is Michael Jordan at the University of North Carolina. He has a statue at Chapel Hill, Cody. Do you have a statue at the University of Mexico of yourself? No. You have nothing there.
I don't think Dave Bliss has a statue at the University of Mexico either. You know what's interesting, though, about that is if you had actually bought when I actually had the first pair of red Air Jordans back many years ago, 1984.
Tell me you still have them. Tell me you still got them.
This is the point of my story. If you bought one share of Nike stock in 1984, it would be worth, you would have turned $100 into $35,000.
Tell me you bought it.
If you had the original pair of Air Jordans from 1984, it's worth at least $35,000, more likely $50,000 or $100,000. The shoes are a better investment than the stock, and I'll bet you those kids who just sold those special edition Air Jordan North Carolina shoes, those things will be worth $5,000 or $10,000 in 5 or 10.
I agree. They sold them for $110.
You're right. It's a crime.
It's a blasphemy.
Why would you sell that?
So to switch gears a little bit, the NBA announced last night the schedule for Christmas Day. You know, it's a big day for NBA basketball, Christmas Day. I actually watch NBA basketball that day. They play like 5 different games. The big primetime game is going to be the Lakers with LeBron James. We'll talk about him in a second, versus the Golden State Warriors in Oakland. I think that game's going to be a blowout. They'll try to promote it like, oh, this is a big matchup, LeBron versus Curry versus Durant. I see it a blowout. I don't see it exciting. There's some other games. I'd rather watch Boston and Philadelphia, which they're showing earlier in the day, but I don't think the Lakers have a chance. I don't think the Lakers will make the playoffs this year. How about that, Cody Willard? The Lakers won't make the playoffs because the West is so tough. Any opinions on the Lakers making playoffs?
You'll see. I will bet. What are the odds? I'll go to Vegas and bet that the Lakers make it to the Western Finals. I don't know that they'll get to the finals. I have a whole staff here.
Hold on, I'm getting it. The Lakers making the Western Finals was 22-1. I just got that in my earpiece.
I take those odds. I take those
Cody
odds.
Put Cody down for 100. We got that bet. Talking about LeBron James, he's the only guy that makes headlines. There's no basketball season. Basketball season doesn't come back till October. He's in the headlines every day. You know what he's doing now? They announced his new HBO show where it's a talk show at a barber shop. That premieres on HBO in August. He has a new show on Showtime where he talks about all these political situations. That's going to appear on Showtime, I think October. He has Netflix shows. He has like 12 different deals around town for all his production stuff. He's a huge producer. He didn't sign the Lakers because he wanted to play for the Lakers. He signed in LA so he can produce movies and TV shows. I know he wants to win. We all want to win. Cody Willard wants to win. We all want to win. But what I'm saying is he signed to be in LA so he can produce movies, meet with big producers, meet with directors, meet with Ross the Boss. There's a whole reason why he signed here. It's not the reason why, I want to make the Lakers a winner. I don't believe that. Cody, what do you think? You believe that?
I think that LeBron, how many amazing athletes, prototypes, incredible physical athletes, just, God-gifted natural abilities do you see come through the world? All, 1 in 1,000.
Cody, it's one every 10 years. It's 1 every 10 years.
No, there was Jordan. Ross, I think it's more often than that. That's my point. I think those 1 in 1,000 athletes is truly a freak. Amazing. But then you have someone like LeBron or Michael Jordan who has that ability, but also is so, I'm going to call it genius. I mean, the competitive drive is almost genius in those people. And LeBron is, he has sustained since the age of 18 years old. He is now, 16 years into being one of, if not the very best basketball player in the entire world. That is just so mind-blowing to me. You have to have so much respect for LeBron, unless, of course, you're a Trump lover or Trump himself, and then LeBron isn't cool or said something bad.
Well,
And
by
LeBron's
the way, on Saturday, Trump was on
done
CNN.
more to build his own personal wealth than Trump has ever stumbled into or borrowed.
I agree. And just so you guys know the story, on Saturday, LeBron was on CNN talking politics, bashing Trump. Trump heard it. Somehow somebody told him. I don't think Trump watches CNN. I don't think he watches the news channels. I don't think he's capable of doing that. But somebody told him that he was blasted. Trump went on Twitter, blasted LeBron, starting a Twitter war with a professional athlete who's loved by millions, and Trump for some reason wants to pick on him.
Well,
it's just
but like, again, Ron,
this has never been done in politics or with anybody with any power in government who picks on the person who's like one of the biggest athletes in the world. It's amazing to me that this is happening.
Look, the one thing that people always have to remember is that Trump has a 90% approval rating from Republicans, and they're basically half of the active partisan voting population. That means 45% of the active voting partisan population loves Trump, whether he's bashing LeBron or anyone else. And I wish that LeBron and all the other people that are considered Democrats and liberal would also stand up and fight against the Democrats, because they're just as bad as the Republicans. And come on, LeBron.
I know you're controversial.
Go after them both.
I mean, really quick, Ross the Boss. I don't want to pat myself on the back, but I have won betting contest in the NFL. I'm king of the hill in Vegas with betting. I'm not allowed to bet in some casinos in Vegas. Last week, I told you to bet the Bears in the Hall of Fame game. They covered. They lost by 1, but you got 2.5. Let me give you a couple picks for preseason. Again, it's tough because you're playing third and fourth strings, but really quick. Give us your 2 best bets. I'll give you 3. I'll take Pittsburgh at Philadelphia. The world champions have a big marker in their back. If you look at their back, they have a big X. If the Pittsburgh wants to beat them with their third and fourth strings, which I see them winning in Philly, I think it's like a high percentage when a team wins the Super Bowl. The next game they play in preseason, they lose. Take Pittsburgh. The other one I like is just because I watch Cleveland and they're not practicing well. Take the Giants against Cleveland. You're getting 1 point. I mean, you're giving 1 point if you're the Giants. It's in New York. I don't see Cleveland playing well this week, especially with the death of Hugh Jackson's mom. The other bet I like is like Kansas City at home against the Texans. Kansas City is like 2.5 point favorites. Those are my 3 picks for preseason. They're shoo-ins, they're locks. I never lose. I'm Ross the Boss, and you know that's a fact. Jack.
Ross, always winning. But, Ross, I got to push back. I don't think, I think you're going to be wrong on the Giants here. I would take Cleveland because
I think Cleveland. Did you watch the show last night?
The very reason that you said not to take Cleveland is the reason to take Cleveland. A death of a family member of the coach. The team will have so much buzz and family and chemistry going out there. I would take Cleveland over the Giants. In fact, Ross, right here, right now, I'll bet you a Pepsi.
You got the Pepsi. I want a Diet Pepsi, actually.
It's a deal. Ross.
And I'm Ross the Boss, and I love talking sports with you, Cody Willard. Chris, thank you, and I'll talk to you guys next week.
To view the whole episode, just Google The Cody Willard Show, Episode 5. Be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel, like the Facebook page, and subscribe to the podcast. For more, go to tradingwithcody.com.